6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Friday, everybody. This is your timeless elite, your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, whatever you want to call me, because now I'm a woman of many things. But we are here on Friday, the special Friday edition of WWT, because it is the final Friday before Saturday night's main event, because you kind of know, what's going to happen. But we will be talking about John Cena throughout this whole broadcast and his final swan song, as you would say. But thankfully, I am not alone to help celebrate Mr. 17 never seen. I'm happy to have a few of my co-hosts here. I'm just happy to have Mr. K. McCoy in the building. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Courtney. Chain Gang Soldier. I thought I told you. We out here as we are on the eve of hopefully not Cena enough. I hope we see more of him after this, quite frankly. But tomorrow, John Cena's last match. It's here, Courtney. It's here.
Finally here, but shout out to Cousin Ron and our producer from the fill-in, Dylan, in the chat. And also, we do have one of our officials of WWT, because, of course, we couldn't do Cena's final swan song without him as well, because we got to celebrate the never seen 17. Our mayor said is in the building.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Friday?
It's a good Friday, Decided to pull up with you guys. We will have some more content tomorrow, but don't want to miss the last one.
Yes. Last time is now, because we will be talking about Cena throughout this whole program, and shout out to everybody in the chat. But before we even talk about John, we got to talk about what happened on Wednesday at Winter is Coming, because this is Women's Wrestling Talk and we support all the ladies. Congratulations to the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron. They managed to beat the Timeless Love Bombs to become the inaugural AEW Women's Champion. Kane, I'm going to go to you first, because you are the biggest supporter of Willow Nightingale, and just wanted to get your quick thoughts and reaction and how you feel that Willow is one half of the inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team Champions.
I have been on the Willow Nightingale train to Georgia, around the world, making it happen. So happy for Willow Nightingale. Tony Khan said that she would be a breakout star, and we are seeing it happen. I thought she'd been broke through, and she's been very underrated. But here we are having Willow Nightingale finally get that main spotlight. She's been a little too early or too asterisky for me as far as beating Mercedes Moné, but only because Mercedes Moné had the ankle injury for the Strong Open Women's Championship, and then dropping it to Moné, winning the TBS title, but having kind of a ho-hum run to be a transitional champion, to giving it to Mercedes Moné. But every time you see Willow Nightingale, to quote the great Sean Corey Carter, Jay-Z, put her anywhere on earth, she triples her worth. She is what I call a slot anywhere wrestler. If you put her anywhere on the card, Willow Nightingale is going to cut through and shine. And that's what she continue to does, whatever she does. And she, alongside Harley Cameron, who's also been killing it, has had a great 2025 as well. This is well earned, not deserved, earned. They have earned this with clearly blood, as you see on Harley Cameron, sweat and tears. And I fully expect for the Babes of Wrath's first title defense to be against their puppets. You're going to have the Harley puppet and some type of Willow puppet, and they're going to come to life. It's going to be some type of Freddy movie, AEW mixes with Warner and stuff. But no, really, congratulations. I ran around the crib with the Willow plush. So very happy. And hopefully this leads to Willow getting more gold.
Said, you got any thoughts regarding the Babes of Wrath being the inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team Champions?
think it's a good play. You know, I mean, go against the what was probably the conventional wisdom and kind of give us a curveball. I believe this is Harley Cameron's first taste of gold in all
Mm-hmm.
of AEW. So I'm interested to see how they go from here, how they continue to emphasize tag team wrestling now in the women's division, and how they can just carry this banner as the first team. Hopefully, they get a very strong run as champions.
If you saw my reaction on Wednesday, it pretty much said it all. I was very happy to see both of these ladies win because they fought with blood, sweat, and tears. And the word of the day, in courtesy of Mark Briscoe for the word of the day, is inaugural, by the way. So shout out to Conglomeration on that. But I'm very happy to see them. And I mentioned this during the watch along on Wednesday. I would love for them to be in a very good, solid, serious rivalry with another tag team. It's going to be very curious on who's going to be the ones to step up to the plate because there's a few ladies that are doing some other things, but it would be nice to have that strong caliber. And I really want to see where this goes. I don't want to see it falter and kind of fade into the shadow, but congratulations again to both of them. They deserve it. And looking forward to seeing how their run looks heading into 2026. So, but shout outs to them. And also, I surprised I didn't catch this on Wednesday from AEW Dynamite, but one of Sting's sons, Stephen Borden, competed in a dark match prior to AEW Dynamite. It happened in Atlanta, Georgia during AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming, and he faced off against independent wrestler Karrion Gray in singles competition, and Stephen Borden defeated him to secure the victory. Obviously, of course, we know we actually know a few of this is actually one of his recent in-ring activity, and he actually previously wrestled Gray at a Defy Wrestling event in Seattle, and also he made his and Stephen Borden's son, he made his official pro wrestling debut in October 2025 in an event in New York City that combined art and wrestling, which was co-hosted by Darby Allin. So we're seeing him a little bit in the ring, and obviously, of course, he was part of his father Sting's retirement. And I just wanted to get you guys' quick thoughts on this and seeing one of Sting's sons finally entering in the world of professional wrestling. And I'll start with Ced.
I think it's pretty cool, and you see like the similarities, like in face, statures, like almost, it's very eerie. So I'm interested to see like how he kind of comes into his own. I mean, it'll be must see like social media, must see TV to see the clips, just because there's always that nostalgia feel where if he does a Stinger Splash or Scorpion Deathlock, like what does it look like for this next generation? I'm wondering how long. I think during Sting's retirement match, there was like the thought of it just by seeing them interact and during his match, where like this could possibly be a thing. But I'm pretty sure I remember seeing clips or interviews where like they were both the sons like adamant like they didn't want to do this. So I want to know what was the turning point to make him really go full-fledged into this this new career.
God dang, that boy. Y'all, god dang, that boy look just like his daddy. You your daddy's son, Steve Borden Jr. He is El Hijo de Stinger. Well, it should be his name. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens with this. It's always dope to see second generation kids follow in the father's footsteps. We're just connected with it. And I'm very excited to see what his ring name will be. El Hijo de Stinger, maybe. Buzz. It's Buzz, says Tony Schiavone. No, maybe. Okay. But it's very exciting to see how he looks in the ring from what we've seen in his few appearances. He looks fluid. He looks good. He looks just like Sting. Like, it's amazing to see. And in my opinion, bump it. Lean into it. Everyone else does when it comes to being well-known, your fathers or your mothers in professional wrestling. So ain't nothing wrong with leaning into it a little bit, whatever helps you get the rub. And hopefully we'll see this happen. I mean, will we see a Hijo de Stinger Jr. match versus Sting's adopted son, Darby Allin? Who knows? But like winner gets into the will, or so we'll figure it out later. But I'm excited to see what happens with Steve Borden, and he has a place in AEW. Tony's going to take care of him, and I'm going to make sure he gets the proper training. So will the wrestling community. I mean, just think about who his godfathers are. He got Ric Flair, he got Lex Luger. He got DDP, he got a who's who of those around him to support him. So excited to see what happens with this.
I'm very excited to see him because actually the first time I saw him was on AEW programming at Sting's retirement match at AEW Revolution. And it's very curious because sometimes when you have children whose fathers are in professional wrestling or moms, they kind of like, I don't want to be a part of this business. But then, of course, when time goes on, it's kind of like, oh, we changed their mind. So it had to be something. And I love that he's starting off in the independent scene and just kind of wrestling his way and figuring out his own identity instead of being like his famous dad, because we know who he is, but just trying to figure out his own identity and figuring out who he is as a person, and also maybe like seeing him pop up maybe like on a Collision or something. I wouldn't mind if he entered in the Ring of Honor space just to really kind of build off, because I do think they could have an opportunity to build off talent, and maybe a possibility we could see him cross paths with Darby Allin, or as Kane calls him, his stepson, his
adopted son. Yeah, his additional son, like that weird goth kid who needed a community, who needed an arm around his shoulder, and Sting was there to help him fight the Acclaimed. And that's why he's here. David Flair, where you at? Sting versus Flair Part 2, but make it the Son's edition.
Oh my god. Clash of the Champions throwback. That is something. But very congratulations to Steve Borden, Sting's son, and hopefully we do get to see him have a lot more success continued. But switching over from AEW to WWE, because of course we have SmackDown happening tonight, the final go-home show before Saturday night's main event tomorrow, right before his match against Obafemi. We're going to hear from the WWE Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. Sure, he has a lot to say leading up to his match against the reigning NXT champion. We're also going to have Alexa Bliss take on Lash Legend. Very curious to see these two ladies go at it one-on-one. And sure, there's going to be a lot of shenanigans outside the ring with Charlotte and Nia Jax. We're also going to have, usually Ilya Dragunov does the open challenge for the US title, but he's putting that on pause because he has an issue he has to deal with, taking on Tommaso Ciampa, who's been trying to get a shot at him for the last couple weeks, and he's finally getting his opportunity against Ilya Dragunov tonight. And we're also going to have the return of the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, taking on Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. And if you saw the promo last week on SmackDown, Damian Priest ain't coming alone. He's bringing Mommy over from Raw to SmackDown. And I could tell there's going to be a lot of chaos and mayhem in the match between all four participants. And you kind of know the theme for this show. And they're going to be paying tribute to John Cena throughout the whole show on SmackDown, leading up to tomorrow's match against Gunther for Saturday night's main event. And of course, you can watch this at the top of the hour because there will be a Honey Night SmackDown happening. So feel free to hop up with Honey because she will give you the rundown on everything tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So you do not want to miss it. And just wanted to get you guys' quick thoughts on what are you looking forward to seeing on SmackDown tonight.
It's really just John nostalgia. Like I can care less what the card is. Who is coming out with the jorts, the wristbands, the hats? Who's paying homage through doing STFU or AA during the match or a 5-knuckle shuffle? That's what I want to see. I want to see those moments throughout this show because this is the day before the last time. I don't think we saw a lot of that this past Monday. Monday Night Raw was very weird, and I said that on the post show. It was just a very weird episode. So this is tonight to kind of pay it forward because tomorrow and this entire weekend is all about 23 years of Cena and how we can pay it forward, because I know a lot of these people will not get the FaceTime doing Saturday night's main event. So this is their chance to really say thank you, John, and do that on screen for the rest of the WWE universe.
Yeah, really excited for this SmackDown. I fully expect it, to your point, Sid, to be a tribute. I hope everyone comes out in jorts. Everyone just comes out in like denim, just wrestle in denim. What's Mario's favorite type of jean? Denim, denim, denim. No one's here to womp me, so it doesn't matter. Because TK's not here. So anyway, no, but it's what? No, it's anyway. No, very. It's. I mean, even Mario pays tribute to Cena with his denim on. But very excited to see what goes on with that. My only thing is, I would like to have seen Damian Priest team up not with Rhea Ripley, but with Yo Girl Seti Lola Vice. I mean, we all know what's really going on with them, right? And we know that's happening. So I would have loved to have seen Lola on the main roster. I think that makes you sink your teeth into it more to know that these both Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, just Zelina Borog, as they call her in Japan. But Zelina is with Aleister Black and Damian Priest is with Lola Vice. So I would have loved to have seen that. When I saw Damian Priest promo last week, I was like, oh, it's Lola time. Yes. And then here comes Rhea Ripley. And I'm like, why is Rhea Ripley always involved in other people's business?
You gotta tell Mr. Punishment to put a ring on it then. That's the problem there. Like, we don't, Master Laredo don't play that. You know,
Lola said, "I'm not fighting your battles yet, Poppy, until you put that third finger left hand." No, I was hoping though, like with Rhea, she's involved with EO and the Kabuki Warriors. Now she is involved with Damian and Aleister and with Zelina. So I really wanted to see Lola kind of get some shine with Damian. He was like, I got my own Mamacita too, man. What's up with that? What's up? So, but I think it's gonna be a fun match tonight. Oh, by the way, Damian Priest has great skin, or a great, what is that thing called? The people who do skincare, like a esthetician. Is that what they call it? Esthetician?
Yeah. Or dermatologist.
Yeah, those things.
Some of them like
because
that.
After getting hit with that fireball, his skin looks bueno.
It's always fun. It's gonna be a very interesting SmackDown. I mean, obviously, of course, they're paying tribute to John, and probably you'll see some references throughout the show on SmackDown referencing everything from John. I would love to see if they put some archive footage from when he first started on SmackDown, like 2002, 2003, when he was there on SmackDown. I know Raw with Randy and Edge is great, but it would be nice to like show some montage of when he first started on SmackDown, when he started wearing like the baseball jerseys, the football jerseys, everything else. And I did like that they did show him winning the WWE title against JBL, because I know people talk about his rival with Edge and Randy and all those guys, but there was something about him versus JBL that just kind of was like so interesting to see. It was just very interesting.
The JBL rivalry is what set it off.
Yes.
JBL was the perfect foil for John Cena. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was the perfect guy for that to happen. The experienced grizzly vet who he was like, Cena can beat him, but there was always that maybe JBL coming off of what, a seventh or eighth 8-month reign he had. You know, this long at the time he was like the longest champion within like 10 years or something. So yeah, but JBL was great for Cena. And remember, that match didn't even main event Mania. It was like in the middle of the card.
Yes,
it should have been the main event, but you know, yeah, that's when Cena won his first title.
Yep, that's where he won his first title. But we're going to get all this and more. Obviously, of course, we're definitely going to have Honey on the card for Honey Night SmackDown, because she will give you everything that she needs you on Friday Night SmackDown happening tonight. And since we're on the topic of SmackDown, we do have another person that is making her mark on SmackDown, and that is Miss Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, Miss Chelsea Green. And yesterday she was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, and this actually happened a couple months ago because he did a live episode. I think might have been the weekend. It was Elimination Chamber in Canada. But Chelsea Green actually had some interesting stuff to say throughout this interview. And she mentioned that she pitched WWE so many things, an idea she wanted to do, and they turned him down. But this specifically was very interesting because she said she pitched a customs Divas version of the WWE Women's US Championship. And she went on to say, I really did try. I tried so hard. I wanted to do a Divas Open Challenge. I wanted to do the whole shebang, but I understand that the women before me, it's fun for me, but because I wasn't a diva. But the women before me fought so hard to kind of end that stigma. I don't know if bringing it back right now would do these women justice. Maybe in 10 years, maybe the girls from NXT can come up and do it in the future. But I will continue trying. I will continue pushing. And this is kind of very interesting because we did talk about creative for the last couple weeks and months regarding WWE. Obviously, of course, we did at WWE Unreal. And just wanted to get you guys' quick thoughts regarding this, because this is not the first time Chelsea has pitched something to writers and producers and it got shut down properly. So I will start with Ced on this topic.
I'm all for like innovation and new ideas, even like the nostalgia, but this ain't it. This ain't it. And I think she knows why, and I can respect and appreciate that might be an era that really resonated with her for women's wrestling, even the women that represented that era. But them as the company and the wrestlers today, yesteryear, they did such a work in getting away from that stigma and being called wrestlers, not be called divas, because it was such a different thing than hell. I think I just saw a clip earlier today of John and Stephanie McMahon in the ring on Twitter that was just such bad programming that as a child we're being fed that. So I think this is in good taste that her wanting to do an open challenge. I think it would make more sense just to do a US Open Challenge a la the men's division. But I think calling it divas, which is the real grandiose thing she's trying to convey here, it's probably not the best idea. It's not the best idea, and I think there's probably a better way to focus the message she wants to get across than using that term.
Kane, you want to add any thoughts to this?
Yeah, definitely. This is one of those ideas where it sounds good here, and then when it orates, it's like, oh, I don't know about that. You got to remember, there was once a women's championship and divas championship on a roster, and it was the women's championship that was absorbed into the divas championship. Looking at you, Michelle McCool. So it's one of those things where the audience didn't like it then when it happened, and I think even for nostalgia purposes, we don't want to see that butterfly championship in terms of serious professional wrestling competition. After Sasha, Bayley 2 times have happened at TakeOver, after, Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte have main evented WrestleMania, after Sasha and Bianca at WrestleMania, we want to continue to go forward. I appreciate the fact that we do see from the Divas era, we see a Nikki Bella, or we see a Trish Stratus, or we see a Michelle McCool make their returns to actually polish up and show that, no, we are serious wrestlers with TV time. It's just the creative at the time didn't allow us to be. So I'm happy to see them come back for that. And I would love if maybe they can twist it to a open challenge of Chelsea Green saying, I am the greatest female wrestler in WWE history, past, present, or future. And that's how we can reintroduce the divas from that era to take on Chelsea Green in an open US challenge. I'm the greatest North American. I'm the greatest female wrestler ever, the greatest women's wrestler ever. Who wants some? And then here comes Layla L to get whipped or something, or Jillian Hall comes out singing, and that I would love to see.
Oh my gosh. You brought up Jillian Hall. It's crazy because I saw her at ISPW a couple months ago. So she was not singing.
You probably heard her first. Oh, you didn't? What was it singing? Oh,
she wasn't singing. She wasn't singing. She was a special guest referee when I went. But Chelsea, it's always good when you have ideas, because sometimes it's on paper it sounds great, but the execution, it's just it can be bad. And I give her an A for effort, because I know she's trying to pitch out ideas, and especially in the dreaded Divas era where they shot away the WWE women's title and just put it in for the Divas title. It was a very interesting time period at that time, and I kind of was not too happy about it, but I understood why, because I wanted to support the ladies, and I kind of wish they did redesign the Divas title belt. It could have been a lot more fun to redesign it a bit and understand what Chelsea she's trying to do, but this is not the first time she's done it, not with creatively. They've been trying to push her. She's been trying to push WWE talent because she wants to be on Dancing with the Stars. She wants to do all these opportunities as well. So I give her credit on persistence. She has persistence on getting where she needs to be. So I'm hoping she doesn't stop the smoke. I'm hoping she continues running through because she is a treasure. And she just signed a 5-year deal.
You know what else, Court? I don't even blame Chelsea Green. I blame her staff. This is all on Alba Fire, okay? I blame Alba Fire. Her staff is supposed to like make sure that these things are taken care of. You know, perception is everything. So Alba Fire and Piper Niven, this is on you for not making sure she doesn't go out and make these statements. You got to take care of Chelsea Green.
Proof everything.
You got to proof. You know what I'm saying? You got to run everything. Make sure everything good. You know, Mayor understands.
Well, Alba Fire, but I know
because Piper's been gone for a while. That's her role in the group.
That part.
I understand.
That part. She has a serious injury that she's facing. So, yeah, just blame everything on Alba Fire. Just blame everything on the Secret Service altogether.
Yes, get well, Piper Niven. Get well, Piper Niven.
Well, we do have another person, and on the AEW side that is persistent and is making a mark and is creating opportunities. Mr. Swerve Strickland. Now, this past Wednesday, he released his official new theme song. He debuted it at Full Gear last month, and it's officially released on Spotify and Apple Music. And he actually worked with Raekwon the Chef from the Wu-Tang Clan. If you know what it is, that's one of the most influential hip-hop groups of the 90s. If you know, you know. And of course, there's always been a little bit of talk regarding his new theme music because some people were kind of iffy about it. So he was speaking to Rob Pasbami of The Stunner, and he kind of goes into explaining why he changed his theme song. And he goes on to say, and he quoted on this, "To me, that question is almost like asking, you've been very successful, so why do you keep working? I have never been someone to rest on my laurels. I keep dreaming bigger, and I always want to top my last success. There are also other reasons for the change in the entrance theme. My character has developed greatly since first coming to AEW, and I believe the song more accurately reflects my current character as compared to the old song. Big Pressure was created before I even set foot in AEW and before I knew what the future would hold for my character. Hit Different was created after my character has been established and was made to reflect that character. I understand that people get used to entrance music and will often reject any change, but I believe in continually evolving and keeping things fresh. The timing was also right. I'm coming back after knee surgery, and it's a new chapter in my career. The new song is a quality song. I wouldn't give the fans a song that I didn't think was much better. Plus, who wouldn't jump at the opportunity to make new entrance music with a hip-hop legend like Raekwon?" Kane, you want to go first?
Asterisk exhales is on the caption for this. Nah, bruh. I enjoy Swerve Strickland. I enjoy his contributions with the crossover of hip hop and wrestling. My man said DJ Who Kid walking out with him. He had Bun B, West Side Gun. I mean, West is for the culture. Swerve is for the culture. But man, this track right here, great track, not a wrestling theme song. It hits different because it don't hit the same, as evidenced by Swerve's return when we heard the Who's House, and then we were kind of looking around, waiting to Swerve when we drive, and instead we were like waiting for an Uber or something. It was just not happening. Wrestling is about familiarity. When there's a shocking return, someone's coming back, we wouldn't be surprised you're coming back, as well as mark out and do the thing that we know you for. But when we see Nana swerving and driving, but not to hit different, where the instructions are to swerve and drive. It's like watching a TikTok with a different theme under it, or a TikTok where the people are listening to a dance and not doing the dance to the TikTok, but doing a different dance. It's just one of those things that, could you imagine if John Cena came back from tearing his pec early at the Royal Rumble with a different theme? Could you imagine if, Hulk Hogan makes his return at WWE without Real American? If you know what I mean, like wrestling themes are a part of your character. This just could have been dropped as a song, as a single. We would have supported it. As Raekwon of the legendary Excalibur said Wednesday, he's like WUTANGCLAN. Excalibur spelled Wu-Tang Clan, by the way. He didn't say Wu-Tang Clan. He just spelled it out. I think the dash threw him off. He thought it was like phonetics. But overall, it's just, I'm not a fan of the theme. I like familiarity. The theme song was fine as it is, in my opinion. Maybe if you hear this song long enough, it'll grow on you. I've worked in radio, so we know how that goes. If you play it over and over and over and over, you like it. But, Swerve When I Drive was it. And Nana's kind of doing a new dance now. It doesn't really work, man. It's all about the audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a long-winded apology, I would say. But I appreciate that he's doubling down. Like, hey, this is what I wanted. And he gave all the right talking points, right? Like, I'm trying to further my career. This is after I'm coming back from injury. It resonates with my character. This song was actually here's the scoop you guys didn't know. Big Pressure was created years ago, before I even came to AEW, all this other type of stuff. But like Kane said, it resonated with fans, which is why people have come to grow and love it. And I can understand wanting to be different or not wanting to be. It's kind of like in WWE now. Like, you don't want to become a catchphrase. I feel like Swerve didn't want to become just the theme music. We've seen that happen with so many superstars. Shinsuke Nakamura comes to mind. But that theme music is what make people want more of you. Like, same with Joe Hendry. It's like, it's the game is the game, We appreciate your in-ring work, appreciate everything you do, but you want to make sure that you have staying power in all facets of professional wrestling. So with that return, while you can debut a new song, I think the moment still made its mark. It's going to take time for the song to grow on people, and it's not a bad song. I just think with the same theatrics that you had before, you probably should have did like a full 180. Like, if you're going to have a new song, you probably don't need Nana no more. And I don't know how you get there, but that's what I feel when I look at the interest now, when everything's still happening. It's like, we're still doing the same stuff, but the soundtrack is different. And it's like, okay, well, why? Why not just do a full reset if we're going to do that? So all in all, I know as wrestling fans, we'd be kind of fickle. So I do think eventually that it will grow on us. Like, we'll just get used to it. And it sounds like he's going to double down. It's not going to be one of those things like where Mina Shirakawa comes out with new music and they change it the next episode. So I think he has enough.
Same match.
Oh, yeah. Same match. But,
yeah, remember? What you wanted.
I'm pretty sure this will be a thing where it's like we have to get used to the new normal with this theme song.
I can say this because I was live at Full Gear when he first debuted it. Because at first I was a bit confused by it because I'm like, okay. But then when I found out who did it, I was like, okay, then we could go from there. But it had to take me a while to listen to it because I understand why he did it, because it's like an arching to his character because he came back. But it would have been interesting to have a little bit of a swerve, kind of like, okay, you came back, but then it's kind of how to elevate. And I understand why he did it. And also, Kane, you did mention Hulk Hogan when he did Real American. FYI, when Hulk Hogan came back in 2002, he used a different theme song, and not many people were happy about that. He used Voodoo Queen.
Oh, when he used Voodoo Child by Jimmy?
Voodoo Child, yep.
Yeah, but I mean, he had the WCW though, so it was still familiar. It was familiarity. It was either the NWO theme or Voodoo Child from Jimi Hendrix. When he came back as Black and White, you're absolutely right. And then when he turned back to Red and Yellow, he had Real American. For a while, he actually did Voodoo Child as Red and Yellow, and then he really dived into to a Real American because of, again, the audience knew everything. You know what I mean? So I mean, for you, Court, being there at Full Gear, where at first we were kind of like, oh, that's Swerve, but it's the music, because we were watching it live and Councilman liked it. He was like, okay, and I was like, nah, bro, I want to.
I had to.
Get back.
Since you kind of had to, you just had to get a feel for it. But then when I found out who was it, I was like, oh, okay. Then we go from there. And even like some people were kind of upset with when Orange Cassidy changed the scene, because at first he had Jane, and then he switched it to "Where Is My Mind" by the Pixies. And when I was like, dude, he's using the Pixies. My God. And then I don't know. Some people were kind of freaked out about it, but I mean,
Jane was the one he had on the Indies, right? He had Jane on the Indies, and then AEW he had Pixies first, and then he switched to Jane. But that was because he had it on the Indies. Now he's back to.
Now he's using Pixies again.
Pixies
Where's
again?
my mind?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's just familiar, and I hope Swerve, who is killing it, bro, way beyond anybody in the Stanford territory could ever predict. You think they'll want him back right now? Absolutely. He came back looking good, looking jacked, looking healthy. I just wish we could have heard that with Swerve. Maybe his biceps are so big he can't bend and swerve anymore. Maybe that's why he had to change the theme to hit different. Maybe, we'll find out if we see Swerve in the club and he can't pop lock or whatever. He can't cabbage patch.
Well, maybe, but you will see him tomorrow on Collision against Josh Alexander, where they are in Cardiff, Wales. Further reminder, it will be on at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, coast to coast.
Why is it airing early? Is anything else happening tomorrow?
Saturday night's
Collision
event. And plus they're like in overseas, so it's kind of like it makes a lot of sense. But you know what else is a Swerve where we can't swerve no more? The Women's Wrestling Archive that a lot of people can enjoy because they can support and love all things women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's gonna pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Make sure you support everything with the Women's Wrestling Archive. $1, $2, $3, whatever, especially as we enter into holiday season. You can give the gift of giving. And before we jump into Saturday night's main event, we do have some quick news regarding LFG because they are in production for season 3, and we did find out there are a few changes that are happening on the mentors and training side of it, and super very excited to hear this because I'm just waiting for this article to pop up because I have an ad in the middle of everything.
Well, Natalia, I would say I got you. Natalia and Kevin Owens, I got your back. Like Natalia has the back of Maxine Dupree, and how like Kevin Owens has the back sometimes of Sami Zayn. But yes, Kevin Owens and Natalia will be joined.
Yes.
And we're excited to see it. This is going to be dope, man. LFG, I haven't really gotten too much into it. I know we just saw Shiloh Hill rip out his teeth. He was the last winner of season 2, and he had his first match on NXT on Tuesday, and he's been having this like Discord character gimmick, I guess. He's like a Discord server guy or something like that, or like the old Sami Callihan hacking gimmick. But yeah, so they're going to be joining, and they're going to have multiple format changes. Of course, it's going to be on A&E, and then we're going to see the fact that once again Kevin Owens and Natalia is going to debut. So my thing is, so it's like Bubba and them still going to be on there, like. they're gonna have more guest stars, is what Mike Johnson of PWI Insider I reported. So, but I wonder what Kevin's gonna do, because his neck is kind of, what I mean. So is it gonna be him like rehabilitating, helping people? How physical is he's gonna be with that? So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to as well. So, and are we gonna get like Dungeon Natty here, like beating up people? That's what's gonna happen. That's what I want to see.
I mean, I imagine it's kind of like The Voice, where you swap out cast members. So like whoever was in, now Kevin and Natty are in doing the coaching. But I think it'll be cool. I'm interested to see like Kevin's voice for professional wrestling behind the scenes like that. I would love to see him mentor talent, because he's been in the game for so long, so many different walks of life, I feel like, as well, that he can offer. And of course, Natty's been coaching up the entire women's division. Quiet as kept, like on her own. I hope she gets like an additional check for her working with Maxine and so many other women superstars. Now we get to see it kind of brought to life on weekly television. So I think that's going to be the caveat there, as she continues trying to bring this low-key legend character to the mainstream.
I'm very happy to see Kevin Owens take on that role, because I know with the fact he just had neck surgery, but this is a good turning point for him to be just like a mentor and a guidance, because he's been in the game for so long. He's seen it all, and happy to help out with the next rising stars. Obviously, with Natty as well, I'm very with like the wisdom, the knowledge that she has, being the final female graduate of the Heart Dungeon and doing some work outside the ring, not just with Maxine. She's also helping out with one of Eddie Guerrero's daughters, helping her train. So that is something to really think about. Yeah. And also wrestling in AAA. That's also another thing that she's doing as well. So I'm happy she is venturing out to opportunities and has been in the game for so long. I mean, the family that she grew up in, couldn't even imagine with everything, the hurdles, and she had to claw her way in to get to where she is today. So it's going to be very interesting to see both Natty and Kevin, and also see some Canadians on there, because, you got to have that Canadian love support with each other. So,
yeah, lots of love, brotherly love as well. I really hope that, continuing with the wrestling tradition and loving of Kevin Owens, that the brother of Elias and Elijah shows up as one of the mentees that Kevin Owens could train.
That would be amazing.
How much he loves that family. So, Elias, Elijah's.
I hope we just get another one named like Elliot, and it's just like he got
oh my god,
yeah, he got a
regular goatee.
He just shows up. He's like, "Hey, I came here with my guitar and my dreams of wrestling."
Nah, like let's lose the guitar, and he's like a brass instrument player. Like, he's like a trombone or something, or a sax.
Yeah.
He's like, Elias and Ezekiel tell me you're a good coach to them. Like, hey,
oh my god,
pick your brain.
He shows up with a sousaphone, just ready to wrestle. Yeah,
pick your brain.
Elijah, Ezekiel, all of them.
Oh my god, I'll start with the E. By the way, I'll start with.
That's
E.
great. That's great TV, Road Dogg. By the way, that's how you write a storyline, Road Dogg. Right there. It's fire. No chat GPT.
Since we were
mentally ill wrestling fans. That's it. Anyway.
Well, since you talked about mentally ill wrestling fans and you talked about stories, yeah, we got to get into tomorrow. Saturday night's main event happening tomorrow in DC. Bold predictions. I mean, this is actually going to be a fire match. Bailey taking on Sol Ruka. 1-on-1. Kane, who do you have?
Man, this match, this card is going to be all about the future of WWE. And I believe that Bailey loves the future of professional wrestling as well. I could see Sol Ruka getting the shock win here. Unless we're going to use this to further NXT storylines, and this is where the Zarya turn has happened.
You're picking Bailey?
So I'm going to stick. See, I didn't answer you like that, right? Sol Ruka. I'm going to go with Sol Ruka gets the win here.
Okay. Said, who do you have winning?
That she doesn't interfere. That Zarya doesn't interfere.
Okay.
Yeah, Bailey's in a weird weird wasteland, I say. I'm gonna pick Soul because we're doing this thing where we were doing the Schizo Bailey stuff, and now we're like so far away from it. But now Asuka is trying to get in her ear and say like, "Hey, these are opportunities that you should have because you are a living legend in this business. You deserve the main event." So I don't know if this is like them trying to recruit her to reform Judgment Day or just tear her away from Lyra. But for all those reasons, I think Soul and everything that we know about her in the company, behind the scenes, and like how much everybody's really high on her, I think she's the one newbie, if you would, that gets a win tomorrow night. So I got Soul.
It's gonna be a fun match, and definitely with Sol Ruka, I think she's definitely gonna have a lot of fun with this. Bailey, it's very interesting because she just completed that 3-day seminar, and she actually did get a lot of praise on hosting that throughout the 3 days as well. So kudos to her. It's very interesting with Asuka because I was like, didn't you just portray Bailey leading up to the match between Bailey and Io Sky? And it's like, now you want to be buddy with her? I don't know. It just seems so interesting to see. But
that Asuka thing felt like a shoot, brother.
It just felt very bizarre. Look at it because I'm like, she's teaming up with Lyra and all this stuff, but I would like to see Bailey at least get a win. I would like to see her get a win. I mean, of course, we're probably going to see Zarya probably do something, but also I would not mind seeing Lyra Valkyria because she may be in the corner of Bailey. I know she may tell Bailey sit on the back, but I'm pretty sure we may see Lyra in the corner. So I'm picking Bailey for the win. And we have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, taking on the reigning NXT champion, the ruler, Oba Femi.
Brother, if that don't look like the main event to WrestleMania 44 right there, then I don't know what does. Like, look at that. Just look, as the kids say, aura. This is going to be a match that either is going to be a straight up wrestling match or this is going to be shenanigans. Cody Rhodes is beefed out with Drew McIntyre. Oba Femi is possibly beefed out with Ricky Saints and Tony D'Angelo, maybe. So we're going to see what that plays into it here. I see Cody Rhodes winning via shenanigans. I just can't see Oba counting the lights as NXT champion straight up. I was a little nervous that Oba might drop the title on Tuesday because on Monday Night Raw, if you saw him when he did his walkthrough in the audience, his guest appearance shout out, Ricky Saints nameplates were still on the side. His side plates were still on there. So I figured that maybe he's going to drop it back to Saints on Tuesday's NXT. Not the case, obviously, with Saints turning heel to screw over Javon Evans, which what happened to New Year's Evil? But anyway, I see Cody winning it. Oba looking great here, getting some good spots in and showing that he's ready for the main roster.
Said, who do you got winning between Cody and Oba Femi?
This is where like TKO, bookers, and everybody included with the decision-making process here needs to like really have a set of balls. They have to have so much testicular fortitude with booking this match. If I swear to God, if I see the generic Cody win where we get 3 crossroads to get Oba out of here, you have done such a disservice to whatever the ruler has been through all of NXT, through all the appearances on in the crowd on Maine and the great work he's done for the North American title and the world title picture. I mean, QB1, all that stuff aside, this is what John Cena wants, is to showcase the talent of tomorrow and get them ready, because the elephant in the room that we're not talking about is WWE is dog shit as booking new stars. Dog shit at booking the talent of tomorrow that are going to be the main eventers for WrestleMania 10 to 15 years from now. Everybody that you're seeing at the top of the card right now, well into their 40s. We have to do something about that starting with this card. And I'm hoping that John Cena used that golden shovel one last time to wield any type of influence he has to say, no, I want this person to go over, do the right thing, because it'll set up a storyline in 2027 or 2028, whatever you got to do. So for that, if it's Drew screwing Cody, great. But Oba Femi needs to get the 3 count tomorrow night. If not, you have done a disservice to NXT, because you could have at least had Cody Rhodes beat his boy, nobody would have cared. Nobody would have batted an eye. But this is Obafemi. This is the ruler. He's only been pinned by 2 men. Maybe, no, I think just 2.
Yep,
So,
Ricky
and Tony.
and Tony.
Ricky and Tony. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't need a third this soon, regardless if he's a QB1. We need it to be Obafemi going over Cody, whatever it looks like, or you just need to have just a non-finish, whatever it is. But Oba or nothing else.
That feels too cheap, said. I know the no contest because of the shenanigans. They can't. It's too. Why do the match if you're gonna do that? You know what I mean? Because I feel you too. No contest protects everybody, but man, them boo birds, brother, them boo birds. It might be the ending of a Nitro in '97. There's gonna be trash in the ring and all that. Like, nah, like we need a winner in this, and I just can't foresee Triple H having the NXT champion defeat the man who ended the 1,000+ day reign. Count the lights.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. We've been talking about this for the last couple of months regarding booking of their future stars. It's kind of ironic in a way. I don't want it to be a disservice to the NXT stars. I understand why they're coming in, because you want to build up your future stars, because some of them, Father Time is almost up for a few of your top stars. Father Time is almost up, and I'm happy to see at least some stars from NXT. I don't want it to end very bad, the ending, or something that's very sneaky. Don't bring Tony D'Angelo in this match. Please do not do that. Number one. I mean, I would not be shocked with Drew. I would not be shocked with Ricky as well, because I have mixed feelings regarding Ricky's reign, but that's a conversation I'll say for another day. It is going to be a good match. I can't see Oba losing because John mentioned he wanted to support the future stars of professional wrestling. That's why he went to Bailey's 3-day program. He took time out to talk with the stars of NXT during his retirement tour. And also, even though he wasn't at an NXT show in person, which that would have been fun too, he really does care about the future. But I am actually going to pick Obafemi for the win. I do think he's going to get the win.
Whew, it's going to be looking like Kevin Owens over John Cena, but Cena was a champion at the time. See, if Cody wasn't champion, I'll pick Oba 1,000%. If Cody wasn't WWE champion right now, I'll pick Oba 1,000%. But because Cody's champ, and but that's why we love professional wrestling for situations like this. Because to Seth's point, if it was Ricky, yeah, Cody's taking that. But yeah. This match right here, though.
Yes, AJ Styles, Dragon Lee taking on Javon Evans, and the shockingly enough, the TNA X Division champion Leon Slater. I think this is the first time we're seeing the TNA X Division champion on WWE programming. I believe
on main roster.
Yep,
we're gonna get that main roster shine. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee. Most people call him AJ Lee. I call him the community. Taking on the young brubs in charge, Javon Evans and Leon Slater. This is a non-title match. I think that AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will go over here, but Javon and Leon are going to look amazing in this match. Leon Slater is the most blatant contract tampering I've ever seen in my life. It makes it hilarious that this happens the same week of all these antitrust violations and companies merging. So bump it. TKO is like, whatevs, bro. Like TNA is like, hey man, whatever. We get to get our stuff shine on. He's leaving when he's leaving regardless. And Leon Slater's like, well, I don't have to go back to England and wrestle in front of 100 people. You know, Leon Slater, 0-1-2-1, bruv. How big is that for him? Like, as somebody who's been Leon Slater FC for a long time, got to see him in person in April here during the TNA ladder match for the X Division Championship. I mean, this the future's right here between Javon and Leon, heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think AJ Styles and Dragon Lee goes over. I can see the New Day and the Usos somehow getting involved in this as well. Some tomfoolery, as we saw on Monday Night Raw as well. But it's going to be a good match. But the gay community retains or will win.
Said, who do you have in this match?
Yeah, Phenomenal Lee is going to win this match. They've shown no sign of slowing down, and they've actually made their tag team a lot more believable. But I think you'll see what people love about Javon Evans on display again on the main roster. And then now the more main roster geared fans will see what everybody else knows in TNA about Leon Slater. And as a team, this might paint the picture that they can be a nice pairing on the main roster or in NXT for another shot at Dark State. Or even the Hardys again. But I think this has strong match of the night quality and caliber, which is why it was added to the card. But we won't see AJ. I don't think we'll see AJ Styles take a L until it's time for him to bounce. So Phenomenally wins.
I'm actually going to go with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. I do think this is going to be a good match, especially because I would like to see the tag team division shine a bit on both brands. Plus, with Leon Slater, it does a good opportunity for him because TNA is going to AMC in, next month in 2026. Yeah. So it does give a good opportunity for AMC to look at saying, like, this is one of your futures for TNA moving forward. Plus, you're gonna be right across the ring from the guy who was the TNA inaugural X Division champion, who gave you the rub back at Slammiversary. So that's also another added bonus as well. It's definitely gonna be a fun match. I'm pretty sure the New Day, the Usos, and pretty much any other tag team on Raw will be watching this very closely. But I'm picking AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And then we have this match. We've been saying this for a year. Here we are. John Cena, Gunther. Who do you have winning?
This is so tough because with professional wrestling, you go out on your back. However, we've never ever seen a wrestler retirement tour. This is unprecedented. We usually don't know when a wrestler's last match is. Ric Flair's retired multiple times. We've seen wrestlers leave companies and appear at another company. But this is the first time we've had a wrestler ever announce, hey, I'm retiring in the next year, and I'm going to get a Kobe Bryant, Derek Jeter-esque farewell tour. With that said, it feels like John Cena will win, but go out on his back. Or Gunther puts him to sleep. That's what I'm fighting with, right? Because you got the evil Austrian Gunther trying to conquer C Nation. And again, we all know how Austrians love to conquer other countries per history. Look it up. Anyway, but Cena's not going to tap. Has John Cena ever tapped?
Not to my
yes, but
understanding.
not since like 2002 and 2003.
I mean, like John Cena, not like heel.
Not Super John, but like the name John Cena has taps on his record just decades ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like this John Cena, Super Cena, hustle, loyalty, respect, chain gang soldier. So that's kind of the angle they're running here with Gunther tapping out LA Knight, with Gunther saying, hey, Cena, I'm going to make you tap, with Gunther Raw promo Monday saying what he's going to do to John Cena. And he's a big bad guy who's going to back it up. Or Cena's going to go one last time, Super Cena, and rise from the masses and win, but go out on his back because there's a boss, a final boss who's going to say, you're not done until I say you're done. I own your soul. This is wrestling. Nothing's finite. Anything and everything can happen. And I just feel like I'm being worked. Am I working myself into a shoot? Am I shooting myself to a work? Who knows? But this just doesn't feel like it's it. It's an ellipses. And TKO loves money. And I just can't see them ending John Cena's career on a random December in Washington, D.C., as opposed to Las Vegas at WrestleMania. But that's what we love about wrestling. Just throw anything at the wall and then watch it happen.
Said, who do you have winning between John Cena and Gunther?
So this is where it's fun because I think since the Kimmel interview, we thought this was going to open the show, give shine to the rest of the audience for the Stars of Tomorrow. Cena was on McAfee this morning and said, no, I don't know where that came from. We're closing the show. We're the last match. So we'll see all the memorabilia, the nostalgia, tributes throughout the show. And then they haven't actually spoken to each other at all. So this would be the first time these two go face to face. And all we have is Gunther from Monday Night Raw saying, like, I'm going to make you do the one thing you never done, which is give up. So that's where you build the match around Gunther, who has been, he's kept his word multiple times when he said he's going to make somebody quit, tap out, or he's just going to beat their ass. I think that all those things will happen. I think this might be Cena's best match of the year because you have a character and a superstar that can carry you to those depths. But I also think this will be the final time that we see Super John pick up a victory just by the skin of his teeth. Like literally, AA gets a 3 count and we're out of here. It might enrage Gunther. I don't think we see Gunther attack Cena after that match. I think we see more of a Gunther, you know what? Respect. That's why you're the greatest all the time. And then we go home. And I think we get the goodbyes. We see Stu come to the ring. We see Michael Cole come in the ring. We get the goodbyes. We don't get the show cut off because we don't have any time constraints with Peacock like we did with Goldberg's final match in Atlanta. I think we go home as happy fans, but I do believe that John, one last time, gives us a classic and a win standing tall at the end of the show. Because in his own words, he said he's done. He's not wrestling anymore, contrary to popular belief and things like that. And he wants all of us as wrestling fans to get the closure that we want with him leaving. I don't think fans will get the closure they want if John gets his ass whooped and lose. I'm not going to hold you. So he has to win the match. And he has to do the taunt and do everything like that and then wave goodbye and bid a farewell the proper way.
Well, it's hard to say goodbye to a person that you love so much.
He said, I know you said like Stu and everybody come to the ring. Do you think Voldemort is going to show up?
Who?
Voldemort. The name we can't say. VKM.
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
Walks
No,
out.
I don't think so.
Could you imagine?
Cute. Oh
walks
boy.
out.
It's always hard to say goodbye to the things that you love the most. Gunther has put on pretty much an ass whooping to everybody in that tournament since he's been back, especially after that brutal match against CM Punk. Pretty much, he said what he was going to do. He was going to make John Cena tap out and not quit, because we know John, he's a person that doesn't want to quit. He wants to make sure he does it all the way and gives us a show. And yes, we did find out from Pat McAfee, it will close out the show. We did find out earlier today. Also, just seeing everything with John, because he kind of said his word. I don't know what's going to happen. I know everybody's speculating on social with all this, but this is one of the reasons why we love wrestling, to see all this. Yeah. And I would not be just shocked if John did certain signature moves or taunts from all his opponents throughout the years. That would be something to really watch, because we did see him do it at Clash in Paris against Logan Paul. He did pull out a few bags of tricks. I would not be shocked if he did pull out some bags of tricks we have not seen in years. And for this one, I don't think the loss is going to hurt Gunther. It's probably going to be, at the end of the day, if John wins, it'll be a sign of respect. And also, I could see the entire locker room coming out, including Triple H. You may see Shawn Michaels come out, possibly, from NXT, but also just giving a final hoorah to John Cena. So I'm picking Mr. Never Seen 17 to pick up the victory. But that is Saturday night's main event, our bold predictions. Said, I know you have to bounce off because I know you have an obligation shortly. But since this is John's final swan, I do want to like kind of go around the room to talk about the memories we have with John, the first time you saw John on TV, any memorable moments that you guys have that you guys want to share, since technically it's his final swan tomorrow.
That's
Well,
tough. There's so many.
Mine will be really being able to see hip hop on television, on wrestling television, seeing hip hop on wrestling television, which is ironic that it comes from some white dude from West Newbury, Massachusetts. But the sound I made when he hit the yayo and when he hit the Jada kiss, when he hit the, hold on, I can do better. There we go. When he hit the Jada, I was just like, what is this? And I loved Ron Simmons. I love Butch Reed. I love Harlem Heat. I love the Nation of Domination. But it was the first time that I was like, oh, this is like what's happening right now. This is what's in the cultural zeitgeist of the throwback jerseys and the over-exaggerated spinning chains. And for some odd reason, it didn't come off corny. It was just like, oh, it felt like, you know, I was looking at like if MF Doom or somebody showed up, which is weird because Cena ended up, well, not weird, ironic. Cena was working with Bumpy Knuckles and he was working with all of these like underground hip hop artists. He wasn't working with mainstream hip hop artists. He was working with underground cats. And it was just like, this is fire. Like his raps he were doing. And, you know, this is when Freestyle Friday on 106 in Park was popping. So, and people were on sites like goldmic.com, freestyle or key styling when you battle rapped online. So battle rap was getting really huge with the Smack DVDs and whatnot. And Cena was doing this. He was battling people in the audience and battling fans waiting for him. And it was this crossover of authentic hip hop culture in wrestling, which felt really dope to see. And him dropping Bad Man and Basic Thugonomics, where it's like, this dude is really spitting. It's not like corny gimmick raps. He got punchlines. Like, this guy is really doing it. So that's what I remember about John Cena. And the fact that even though the raps aren't there anymore, he never got rid of it. Whether he became the Chain Gang Soldier, hustle, loyalty, and respect, that hip hop element always remained. He kept the theme song, you know, The Time Is Now, and now it's in the public zeitgeist. So that character, I mean, let's face it, hip hop saved John Cena. If John Cena never rapped for Stephanie on that bus, he said it himself, he was out of here. I remember the SmackDown where he pulled up as Vanilla Ice and was rapping. And even then, those raps were dope. So hip-hop saved John Cena, and he never forgot about it. Unlike a lot of other artists who get fame from hip-hop and become country artists. John Cena never pulled up in denim pants and boots and cowboy boots. You know what I mean? He stayed true to himself, true to the game. That's why, John Cena, we always salute you, homie.
Said, you want to add anything else?
I can't follow that, and I want to do John justice because it's 23 years, and a lot of John's biggest moments were during my growing up and in college. So I really want to think about the ones that resonated with me because I've seen John perform live quite a few times. So I really want to think about that because initially the one that stands out, my favorite year of professional wrestling was Rock Cena 1. Like all the back and forth with that and how John had to carry that. And then we had all the different things with the promos, calling out The Rock. That was probably my favorite year of wrestling surrounding John, of course, and Dwayne. So, yeah, I'll come back to you guys tomorrow with the watch along with more thoughts on John and how I'm going to remember his career.
It's a good tease, Sid. Yes.
I made a deep question. I was like, man. Well, many people don't know this because I started watching wrestling in 2002. in the Ruthless Aggression era. So I was about 12, 13 years old. I was getting into wrestling. John Cena debuted on my birthday. Shockingly enough, when I found out the date, he debuted on my birthday against Kurt Angle. And that was one of the few things that got me into wrestling. Like, of course, I was into Chris Jericho and obviously with Jeff and Matt Hardy because they were kind of splitting during that time. Matt was doing version 1. Jeff, of course, was doing like the Daredevil antics and everything else. But John came in an interesting time with SmackDown because you had the SmackDown 6, which had Ray, Kurt Angle, Mr. Crossface, Edge, Eddie, and Chavo Guerrero. And then you had like John, you had Brock, Champion, Taker, and all those guys were coming into SmackDown. And it's just really interesting watching his career when he first started on SmackDown up until now. And he's just been killing it. And it's funny, Kane, you put up the hip hop crossover because I will never forget when he did a cover with Method Man. And that was just really awesome to watch. Right. That was so dope. And I still have the first DVD where they talked about Word Life. And my brother was into his freestyle, into his rapping. Also, I got to give a shout out to Murs, by the way, because if you don't know who Murs is, he's an underground rapper from LA. He was on Hustle with John Cena. And the reason that Max Caster is doing freestyles because of Murs and John Cena. So I got to give a plug and shout out to Murs because I actually saw him and Caster in concert earlier this year in Philadelphia. So dope, by the way. And he's a very dope person, Murs. He's super cool, super chill, amazing person. But did want to put a plug in and also some of his matches. I know people always say like him versus Randy, him versus Rock, or him versus Edge, or him versus Midge. But as I mentioned, him versus JBL was that rivalry right there. And we did get to see a different side of John. And it's just some of those matches between them. The storyline was right there for SmackDown at that time because you had JBL as the rich Texan tycoon bully who just bullied everywhere because of his money. And John came in as like the hip hop man from West Newbury, Massachusetts. And JBL degraded him because he was listening to hip hop and all that stuff. And that just took it from there. But that was something that I do appreciate, John. And also I have a mini John Cena figure. I had a mini one ever since, but definitely want to give praise to John for everything that he's done. And it's going to be an emotional one tomorrow during Saturday night's main event. And I know we got to get out of here because we also have to watch SmackDown and see what they're going to do with John at the top of the hour. So this is the time that we get to tell people where they can find us. So, Ced, where can the people find you?
You cannot, but if you want to, the social right there says the answer on the gram and the TikTok says on Twitter, and of course here every Monday nights and tomorrow for the watch along.
Yes, family, come together. Let's watch along. You see it at Kane McCoy, Threads, Blue Sky, maybe. Hopefully Twitter again soon if they can fix all of that. But mainly here. Like Women's Wrestling Talk, thank you guys for always watching. It's never lost on us. It just always feels like we're talking with the homies, and that's what makes wrestling just the illest community to be a part of. So, sometimes we don't say it enough how much we love you guys and appreciate you guys for always checking in with us. Because y'all could be doing anything else, watch any other podcasts, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it.
Because we got the coolest people running WWT. We got the coolest people around, but you can find me.
No printer.
Yes. You can find me chirping periodically on WWT Live. I try to be on WWT Live as much as I can. Wednesday, AEW Dynamite has a holiday bash coming to you from Manchester, England, by the way. So get your ugly sweater, get your Christmas cookies, get your hot cocoa, get whatever to get you in the holiday spirit because we have a holiday bash happening, of course. And it's 3 hours, by the way. So, yeah, you get to spend a holiday bash and season beatings with the stars of AEW. Friendly reminder, AEW Collision is tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time to get you ready right before Saturday night's main event. So we do want to wish everybody there, and also make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling because February 13th, Girl Power Pro Wrestling will be back in New Jersey. Carissa Rivera, formerly known as Elektra Lopez, the virtuosa and the inaugural Ring of Honor Women's Pure Champion, Deonna Purrazzo, will be there, and yours truly will be on the call for that. So definitely make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling. Do want to thank everybody for joining us on this special Friday edition of WWT Live. Shout out to our producer from the future, Dylan, Boza, Willow Sport One. We did see our other sibling, Honey, on the chat as well. Pretty sure
Honey.
Cousin Wrong. All of you for joining us on the special Friday edition. And we have a watch along tomorrow for Saturday night's main event because we're going to be a part of history for wrestling. So feel free to hang out with us during Saturday night's main event tomorrow. And feel free to follow us on the chat as well. And also everything that we're doing on WWT socials right now. I know we just put up a few interviews. The latest interview was with Gail Kim. So feel free to check that out on WWT socials right now. And thanks for joining with us. And we will see you on Honey Night SmackDown. And thank you for supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a good evening, and we'll see you on.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.